Hello again, everyone. I've done some tweaking to the volume levels, so hopefully that will resolve the what the fuck loud issue that was going on. Trying to get that cleared up as best as possible, and I've had a couple of requests from people to explain a little bit more in detail what I'm doing as compared to just plowing through it. So I'm actually going to start this off and take a minute to give a little bit of an overview of some of the screens that I've been pounding through, because it didn't really come to my attention, although it should have, that I was just blasting through everything really quickly. So what you're looking at here, this is the main window. I think you've already figured it out. This is where you interact with all the different stars and all your ships and whatnot. Over here, whenever you've got a planet selected, this will give a breakdown of what that planet has. It'll give its size. They go from 1 to 10. That directly depends on how many Imperials and civilians that it'll have there. As you can see, you just slap a bunch of zeros onto it, and there you go. A size 1 planet can hold 100 million people. A size 10 planet can hold 1 billion people. Because of the infrastructure of your homeworld, and only your homeworld starts at 200, it doubles its amount of population. As you can see, the other ones can get up to 120. And that'll give them 720 million. If in the case of this 6 million one, it's actually going to be a little bit higher than that, it looks like. Basically, then you have the amount of resources that are in a planet. The amount of industrial output is based on the imperial citizens and the infrastructure on the planet, and then the income, which is pretty much a combination of everything here. Civilians run the trade units. The amount of trade routes that are available for a planet are based on the number of civilians. This screen you're going to see a little bit more in the future. We're going to describe it a little bit better there, because it'll have to do with the climate control levels for the morale events for having other planets, races on your planets, because that will allow you to increase the civilian population without over-harvesting. Because as you can see, there's a little notch here in the middle. That little notch determines the maximum possible planet without consuming excess resources. Let's see, what else do we got here? This little pie chart brings open the budget screen, whereas in the budget screen, it'll list all of your current colonies and their incomes and all that. Total planetary income, the amount that's in your treasury, trade income, and interest. As you can see, interest is about 1% of what you're getting here. It's not very high. When you have a negative balance, the penalty interest is much higher. I mentioned that a little bit, and then breaks down all your expenses. Special projects, right now, that is my asteroid monitor, and so that gives you your projected treasury and, of course, what it projects the trade will be. This gives you a breakdown of all your fleets. You'll probably never use that screen. All of your explored systems that you... Apparently, we've got 2 that we need to colonize here. Let's work on that. Explored systems that you need to... that you haven't colonized. Any enemy colonies you know of right now, there aren't any. This gives a breakdown of what's happened in the last few turns. This is where you can get a nice little bar graph of everything that you know. And then, of course, the trade window, which you're intimately familiar with at this point. Okay, we're working on with the research here. We're working on getting ourselves some long-range engines, and the reason that we're getting those, we're going to get those, and then we're going to get plasma focusing, and that's going to give us our maximum range on our new ships. 1 second. Sorry, I didn't want to sneeze in your ear. That's going to increase the maximum range and that we can move at, and the long-range fusion drive is going to increase the speed that they can move over the strategic map. And then we're going to see about getting some more weapons so that we can start building a combat fleet. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we've got some of these utilitarian ones like terraforming and things of that nature that we're going to plow through so that we can start getting some more of these other planets. But now that we're in here, and with the colonizers, you notice I've been sticking with the fission drives. I haven't even touched their drives. The reason for that is because as the Hivers, you don't need to. Since your colonizers are never going to be going outside of the gate network, it doesn't really matter what size engines that they have. And as as you can see here, now that we're in a negative balance, it went from being 1% to being 15% almost. So it's a notable difference. Where the hell are both of those planets that I can allegedly colonize? There's one of them. Where's the other one? Oh, that's probably across the... Yeah. That's where the friggin' humans blew my ass up. Stupid bastards. I'm sorry about the sniffles. I just woke up in the morning.
System updates.
We move now.
And now, you notice I keep scuttling all the old ships. There's two reasons for that. Number one, the ships that I'm doing are not overly useful. I mean, I end up rebuilding them a bunch of times, but it's no big deal. On top of that, when you scuttle them, they break down the resources that it was used to build, and that goes into the ship construction. And on top of that, it adds to the resource pool that the planet has, and that's based on the size of the ship, primarily. And so what I'm basically doing is I'm beefing up the homeworld so that it's got a little bit of a stronger production to it. Trying to get it a little bit...
System updates.
Oh, hello, other bugs.
We agree. War is not necessary.
And you'll notice, and with the Hive, anytime you see this symbol underneath any planet, that means that some Hive has a jump gate there. Right up here gives my total gate network capacity, which right now is 90. Each destroyer takes one. I forget how many cruisers and dreadnoughts take, but dreadnoughts take a piss load. We'll just put it that way. All right, we got the long-range drives. So now, ooh, ram scoops. What's this? Not sure how I feel about that.
Yes, my queen. We begin research.
I think I'd rather have them have a carrier ship with them, frankly.
Yes, wings unfolded and secured, Majesty.
So apparently we must have Hive over in this side.
System updates.
Or somewhere nearby.
We move now.
Isn't that interesting?
System updates.
The swarm has secured.
Oh, there they are.
the
Yep, they're right over there. See, there's their little jump gate. Wonder if they'll mind if I pop one up too. Alright. So, you notice that I don't spend a lot of time upgrading the missiles. The reason I tend not to do that is because it's just the warhead that's changing. The actual missile, it's the only weapon really that upgrades itself every time you get the text. So I don't personally worry too much about building it out there because it will get to where it needs to be, frankly. Okay, let's get some more weapons. We've got stormers. Let's get some heavy stormers.
The lab is swarming with workers, Majesty. We are engaged.
I like using stormers because they have a rapid fire. They don't affect the direction of the ship as much, but they do a little bit more damage and they fire a lot faster.
System updates.
The princess has landed, Majesty. We move now.
System updates.
The swarm has secured another world.
Actually, you know what? We'll come back to that. What I really want to get first, I think we want to get polysilicate alloys, and some reflective coating.
This
Basically, what we're
project
doing
may
is we're going to be
advance the
boosting
swarm in
the
a
strength of
great
the
leap.
ships. Now, you notice every time I do this, I tweak the research. It gives the number of turns to complete. Basically, once it crosses 50%, every turn you have a chance that increases as it gets closer to 100% that you will learn the tech. When it hits 150%, you're guaranteed to learn the tech. That's one of the reasons that I tend to choose like 2 turns to complete if I have that ability, is because then I'm guaranteed it 3 turns. And that's not as bad as how it could be. We're still a little ways behind though. 19, that's terrible.
Swarm on the wing.
I need more of those snipers, don't I? No, I don't. Yes, I do. I need 6 of them.
Construction project
Yeah, somebody
initiated.
finished their terraforming. Did they get? Yes. Cut that down a little bit. Kochak is my size 8, right? That colony is going to become gigantic in the future.
System updates. We agree. War is not necessary.
Don't worry, we're not going to stay in a non-aggression pact
System
with humans for very
updates.
long. Because they're dicks.
We will follow this course, Majesty.
Because we have learned that they are douchebags.
System updates.
The
Colonial
princess
and
has
flag
landed,
Asgard.
Majesty.
Plow out all those freighters.
System updates.
My queen!
Got to have you deploy your
Please
gate.
forgive us. We were slow, but successful.
Get the reflective coating.
We are honored to receive funds, Majesty. We will find the answer.
System updates.
We move now.
System updates.
We
Got the
have
reflective
discovered the
coating.
truth,
Gonna get these
my
magnoceramic
queen.
lattices.
It was not so difficult as we thought.
Actually, I'm not going to bother with that right now. Let's get salvage tech.
This project may advance the swarm in a great leap.
Let's design our new wave of gates. Long range fusion. Your gate. And we'll give you a battle bridge. That sounds good.